Alright, so I guess the question here is like, how do we become famous in YouTube? Um, of course, I'm not famous, so I cannot answer that question, but by just looking at YouTube, you can kind of like realize why some people are famous and some other are not, just like me. We have a YouTube channel, and of course, I make a lot of mistakes, and I've made a lot of mistakes during the process of making videos and having a YouTube channel. But I believe that one of the biggest mistakes I've made, first of all, probably you guys don't know this, for whoever is watching this one right now. But I had another YouTube channel many years ago, probably like 6, 7 years ago, or even more. I'm not quite sure. The thing with this YouTube, with this, I mean, did I say video channel? That's what I meant to say, channel. I'm not sure if what I'm saying. The thing is that back in the day when I started my first channel, I was a little bit more organized. To be honest, I was really decided to and focused to practice my English, and I was really funny. I think sometimes I would say that I would humiliate myself in some of these videos, but don't get me wrong. What I'm trying to say is that I was trying to be extra funny. That sometimes I would look really dumb, and sometimes and I remember that some people, I think that 7 years ago, some people, they were just like, like trying to start many YouTube channels. Many teachers were trying to. I mean, there were still probably many already, but I feel like I noticed that by me just sharing a little bit of these videos, I got some audience, some people watching my videos, if that makes sense. Sorry if my English is not nice because I'm not a native speaker, but anyway, I noticed that, and probably I had the wrong. I still have the channel, by the way. So I remember I was making, I don't know, probably like 1 or 2 videos a week or even more, and they were consistent. I was teaching Spanish in some of them and still practicing English. So what I'm trying to say is that I was a little bit consistent, but like after a time, as most of my projects, I just quit it, and I stopped making videos, and I would make videos from time to time. Then I started a new YouTube channel, which is actually this one, I think. And nowadays I'm not making enough videos. As you can see, probably the last one, sorry, the last one is probably, I posted the last video probably a couple of weeks ago. So see, I'm not consistent, and something that I learned, and people talk about it, and it's true, is that being consistent, it plays a really good role in the process of becoming famous in YouTube. Another thing that I lack of is that I don't feel like the let's call it, I'm trying to translate from Spanish to English. I don't feel that hunger, to become popular, and I think in order to do that, you have to do many things. You have to really focus on what you're doing, and that's something that I don't do, as you probably already noticed. What other things? I think that's something that I've learned over the years, over many mistakes, is that sometimes, yes, you might need like a better quality camera, microphone, and all that, but that requires, sometimes if you have more complex, how can I call it, more complex equipment, then you need to spend more time on edition or editing these things, and sometimes it's tiring, especially if you don't have like a lot of time, and especially if you're like me, a person who really can't get really excited for a second, and all of a sudden within the next 2 or 3 seconds they're just like not doing it anymore and just feeling super bored. So yeah, so how do we become famous, right? Of course I would love to make a lot of money in YouTube, and I would love to have the best ideas ever and to just, you know, become super famous. Something that I've seen in with some of this, let's call them like YouTubers, famous YouTubers, quote unquote, um, they are lucky. That's the first thing. There's this guy in Mexico, who he posted, or someone posted a video when he was just a kid, and apparently he and his friends, they went to like to spend some time with their families in a little range or something in the outdoors. And in the video you can see that they're playing around a little creek, and there's like a trunk. Is that a word? I don't know. There's a trunk, and that's for you to cross that little creek. But they're like 3 or 4 kids, something like that. They're like cousins or friends, something like that. But the last one, when he's trying to cross the using the trunk, the other kid is like playing like trying to make him fall, and at the end he falls into the creek. And of course it's funny. So well, the story is not that important, but the thing is that a couple of months ago all of a sudden I got a notification that this guy was talking about that video. And I just went to his YouTube channel. I noticed that he had a lot of views, a lot of subscribers, and I'm thinking, dude, he didn't do anything to become famous. He just needed to do, you know, like, it was just a matter of time before everybody was going to watch the video and he was going to become famous. Then I learned that, you know, after this video became viral, he was invited in many like TV shows, and that's why he became famous and more famous. What other things? You have to show. There's something that I really love about there's something that I love watching in YouTube, and that is like stuff related to like hiking and backpacking, living in the van or van life, if that makes sense, you know, all these things. And it's funny that there's just probably maybe 1 or 2 YouTube channels, or maybe there are more, but not the ones that I like, that are not showing, like, they're always in bikini. I don't understand why they're always showing their private, not their private parts, but they're really explicit with the thumbnails. Is that the word? Like the picture you put and in the video so people can find you. And I don't know, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but like, come on. I understand they understand how this game works. Like, if you put a lady in a bikini, of course it's gonna attract more people than if you just put a mountain instead. But I don't know, like, I don't think that I would do something like that just to become famous. And that is the price that many people is ready to pay for being famous. And I understand it's a job and all that, but it's just like really far from the idea of what I have about this. What else? Okay, the final thing for me is that some people, they also were lucky because they started when YouTube wasn't this big. You know, like right now there are many YouTube channels, many famous people making videos, and the platform has grown super fast, and now you can do a lot of stuff. People is having more ideas, there are more things to do on YouTube. But the thing that the very first people who started, or maybe not the very first people, but like the very first YouTubers, or like probably the first and the second generation of YouTubers, let's say, like, we're talking about people who has been uploading videos 20 years since how to say that, for 20 years now or something like that, you know, really old YouTube channels. Of course, I think it's just like a cause and effect thing, because you know, of course, if you keep doing this for many years, I feel like at some point the numbers just play in your favor, if that makes sense. Probably that doesn't make any sense, but anyway, so yeah, apparently I don't have any of this any of these abilities, or I don't happen to have any of this how can I say, signs, or this facts in my life to become famous, right? So here we are. I think this is already really, 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 really long, and probably nobody is wanting to watch this thing. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna upload it because, well, we don't know, right? I should just do it and to see what happens.